Every year, thousands of people over 60 face one of the scariest moments of their lives. A sudden pain in the chest, the air getting heavy, and no one around to help. You might be reading this thinking, what would I even do if that happened to me? That single question can make the difference between panic and survival. Heart attacks don't always come like in the movies. No dramatic collapse, no warning siren. Sometimes it's just a strange pressure, a dull ache that creeps into your arm, your jaw, or your back. It might hit while you're resting on the couch, watering the garden, or reaching for a glass of water at midnight. And in those quiet moments, when you're alone, every second matters. After 60, the body doesn't bounce back as quickly as it once did. Circulation slows, oxygen drops faster, and what used to be a minor twinge can become a full-blown emergency before help even arrives. But here's the hope. There are 7 simple things you can do, right in those first few minutes, that can keep your heart beating long enough for help to reach you. They're small, calm actions that buy time, protect your heart muscle, and give your body a fighting chance. Most people never hear these steps until it's too late, but today, you'll know them. And they could save your life or someone you love. And before we dive into the first life-saving step, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to 4Seniors Health. This channel is designed for seniors to discover how simple choices can lead to a powerful, healthy comeback. Tip number 7. When you feel that crushing pressure or tightness in your chest, the very first thing you must do, before anything else, is call for help. It sounds simple, but it's the step most people hesitate on. And that hesitation can cost minutes your heart can't afford to lose. Many seniors, especially after 60, downplay those first symptoms. They think, maybe it's just indigestion. I'll wait a few minutes, but here's the hard truth. Every minute you wait, your heart loses oxygen and heart muscle cells begin to die. You can't see it or feel it right away, but inside the damage is happening silently and quickly. When you call emergency services right away, you start the chain that saves your life. The moment the dispatcher answers, they're not just sending help. They're guiding you through what to do until it arrives. If your phone allows, use the emergency SOS feature. It automatically calls for help and shares your location, even if you can't speak. If you're using a landline, keep your address written in large, clear numbers near the phone so responders don't lose time confirming it. Here's something most people don't realize. Heart attacks can worsen within minutes, turning mild pain into sudden collapse. Making that call early could mean paramedics arrive before that turning point. And don't hang up. Keep the line open, even if you start feeling faint. Your voice, or even the sound of your breathing, helps rescuers find you faster. If you live alone, make it a habit to keep your phone beside you, not across the room, not in another pocketbook or drawer. One tap could be the reason you survive. A retired teacher once told me she hesitated for 5 minutes, thinking she'd feel better soon. By the time help arrived, she'd lost consciousness, but her smartwatch had already called 911, and that single setting saved her life. So if you ever feel chest pain, pressure, shortness of breath, or unexplained fatigue, don't overthink it. Call first, always, because your heart doesn't need bravery, it needs speed. And once that call is made, your next step is to give your heart the support it needs to stay alive while help is on the way. And it begins with something as simple as what's already in your medicine cabinet. Tip number 6. Once you've called for help, your next move could buy you precious minutes before the ambulance even arrives. If you have access to aspirin, the regular uncoated kind, chew 1 tablet immediately unless you've been told by your health coach or provider that it's unsafe for you. Here's why this tiny pill matters so much. During a heart attack, a clot forms inside one of your heart's arteries, blocking the blood that carries oxygen. Every second that clot stays there, more heart tissue loses air. It's like watching a fire spread inside the muscle that keeps you alive. Aspirin works by slowing down the platelets that make those clots stick. Chewing it instead of swallowing helps it enter your bloodstream faster, often within minutes. Many people make the mistake of taking a coated tablet or drinking water with it. Coated versions are designed to dissolve slowly in your stomach, which delays the effect you need right now. You don't have that kind of time. You want the tablet to start working as you chew it, bitter taste and all, because that bitterness means it's doing its job. Let's be clear though, this only applies if you're not allergic to aspirin, don't have a bleeding disorder, and aren't already on strong blood thinners. If you're unsure, talk to your doctor now and keep their guidance written in your medicine cabinet or wallet, because in the middle of an attack, you won't have time to guess. One senior told me she used to keep her aspirin in a drawer across the room, until her health coach reminded her that a drawer doesn't save lives, proximity does. She now keeps a small packet on her bedside table and one in her handbag. It's such a small action, one chew, one tablet, yet it can double your chance of surviving until emergency help takes over. And here's something even more important. Once you've taken it, stay still. Don't try to walk around or tough it out. Your heart is fighting hard enough. In the next step, we'll talk about how to position yourself so your heart can do its job with the least strain possible. And it starts with how you sit. Tip number 5. Once help is on the way and you've taken your aspirin, your next goal is simple. Make it easier for your heart to breathe. The way you position yourself in those first few minutes can mean the difference between steady blood flow and sudden collapse. When a heart attack strikes, lying flat is one of the worst things you can do. It forces your heart to pump uphill against your own body weight, while your lungs struggle to fill completely. Instead, ease yourself into a comfortable, upright position, like sitting halfway up in a chair or on the edge of your bed with your back supported. This posture lets your lungs expand freely and reduces the pressure on your heart so it can keep working with less strain. If you're wearing anything tight, a belt, bra strap, tie, or even a snug shirt collar, loosen it right away. Every bit of pressure you relieve helps your chest expand more easily. Think of it as clearing space for oxygen to move where it needs to go. One gentleman in his 70s told me he was watching the evening news when a strange squeezing started in his chest. He remembered this tip from his health coach, sat upright against his couch, loosened his belt and collar, and stayed as still as possible. By the time paramedics arrived, his breathing had steadied, and they said his posture likely helped keep oxygen flowing long enough for treatment to begin. It's also important to keep your legs uncrossed and your feet flat on the ground. Crossing your legs can slow circulation from the lower body and make the heart work harder. Small details, but in moments like these, every little thing counts. And here's a bonus insight. When you sit upright, gravity helps blood flow to the parts of your heart still getting oxygen. It's like giving your heart just a bit of relief while it fights to stay alive. So remember, when I'm upright, supported, loose, and still, it's not about looking calm. It's about helping your heart do less work until help takes over. In the next step, we'll talk about one of the strangest sounding techniques, a move that might help you stay conscious long enough for help to arrive, especially if dizziness or faintness starts to creep in. Tip number 4. This next step sounds strange, almost unbelievable, but it can help you stay conscious long enough for help to arrive. If, after calling emergency services and sitting upright, you start feeling lightheaded or notice your vision dimming, there's one trick your health coach might tell you to try: controlled coughing. Now, this isn't the viral cough CPR myth you see online. It's not a cure for a heart attack. It's a temporary support technique that can help your heart keep pumping if you feel yourself slipping toward faintness. Think of it as a way to nudge your circulation until professional care takes over. Here's how to do it safely. Take a slow, deep breath, then give a firm, sharp cough from the chest, not the throat. Do this once every couple of seconds while staying upright. The gentle pressure created by coughing momentarily boosts blood flow and can help maintain consciousness for a few extra moments. It's important not to overdo it. If you start coughing too hard or too fast, you'll exhaust yourself and strain your chest. The goal is rhythm, not panic. Breathe in, cough once, pause, repeat. One retired mechanic I spoke with said he felt dizzy during an episode one night and remembered his health coach's advice. He focused on slow breathing and gave short, steady coughs until paramedics reached him. They later explained that those few minutes likely helped keep his blood moving and his brain oxygenated until treatment began. If you're alone, this technique can make the difference between remaining conscious and blacking out before help arrives. But again, It's not something to rely on instead of calling for emergency services. It's just a bridge, a small action to keep you alert while waiting. And here's a bonus tip. As soon as that dizzy feeling fades or the emergency responders arrive, stop the coughing and let them take over. Your job is to stay calm, conserve energy, and let your body work with the rhythm it has left. Next, we'll cover something most people never think about until it's too late. Preparing your surroundings so rescuers can reach you quickly, even if you can't speak or move. Tip number 3. Once you've called for help and steadied your breathing, your next focus should be simple. Make sure help can reach you. You'd be surprised how many emergencies turn tragic, not because rescuers didn't arrive fast enough, but because they couldn't get in. If you live alone, unlocking your front door or gate could save responders precious minutes. Imagine paramedics outside, pounding on a locked door while your body struggles inside. That delay can erase the time you gained by acting quickly. So, if you can still move safely, unlock your main door and leave it slightly open or remove the chain latch. Then return immediately to your upright position. If walking feels risky or you're too weak to stand, stay put. Don't push it. Instead, call out loudly through the phone line or voice assistant, or use your emergency device if you have one. Many smartphones and smart speakers have an SOS mode that can broadcast your location or trigger a loud alarm to guide rescuers. One senior from Texas told me he used to keep his phone charging across the room at night until he read about a man who couldn't reach his phone during an episode. He moved his charger right beside his bed, and a few months later, when chest pain hit at 2 a.m., he reached it within seconds. That call saved his life. If your phone has a Health IDI or ICE in case of emergency feature, activate it. It displays key detail like medications, conditions, and your emergency contact, even when your screen is locked. First responders are trained to look for this. Another smart move? Keep a visible note near your front door with your name, address, and phone number printed clearly. It sounds simple, but in panic or confusion, even saying your own address can become difficult. These tiny preparations are your silent helpers. They work for you when you can't. So before you end tonight, check 2 things. Is your phone always within reach? Is there a way for help to enter if you can't open the door? Because during a heart attack, accessibility is survival. Next, we'll focus on something your body naturally tries to resist. How to slow your breathing when panic sets in, and why doing it right could be your strongest defense yet. Tip number 2. When your heart is under attack, fear becomes your biggest enemy. The moment you feel that tightness in your chest, your body's instinct is to panic, to breathe faster, move more, or even try to stand up. But here's the truth. Every deep, rapid breath floods your body with adrenaline, raises blood pressure, and forces your heart to work harder at the very moment it's fighting to survive. The real skill here is learning how to slow your breathing and take control back from fear. Start simple. Close your eyes for a moment if you can, and inhale gently through your nose for about 4 seconds. Hold that breath for 2, then exhale slowly through your mouth for 6. Imagine you're releasing the tension with every breath out. This simple rhythm sends a signal to your nervous system that says, it's okay to calm down. What happens inside is incredible. Your oxygen levels balance, your pulse begins to settle, and your heart's workload decreases. You're not stopping the attack, but you're creating the conditions your body needs to survive it. A retired bus driver once shared how this technique saved him. He was home alone when his chest started tightening. He said, everything in me wanted to gasp, but I remembered what my health coach said. Slow it down. He focused on his breath, 1 count at a time, and by the time the ambulance arrived, his heart rhythm had stabilized enough for immediate treatment. If you struggle to count or focus, use a phrase in your mind. Something grounding, like slow and strong, on each inhale. Safe and steady on the exhale. It's not meditation, it's survival with purpose. Also, avoid shallow chest breathing. Focus on expanding your belly slightly with each inhale. That's diaphragmatic breathing, and it delivers oxygen deeper into your lungs where your blood picks it up faster. Most people underestimate this tip because it sounds too simple, but in truth, it's one of the most powerful tools you have. Oxygen is your heart's fuel, and slow breathing keeps the engine from overheating. So remember, when panic tries to take over, fight back with calm. One breath at a time, you're giving your heart a fighting chance. And now we reach the most crucial moment. What to do in those final minutes before help arrives, when all you can do is stay still and trust your preparation. Tip number 1. This final step might sound like the easiest one, but in reality, it's the hardest. When pain hits, the natural reaction is to move, pace, or try to walk it off. But during a heart attack, every movement steals oxygen from your heart, oxygen that could keep you alive until help arrives. Once you've called for help, chewed your aspirin, sat upright, and loosened tight clothing, your mission is simple. Stay still. Think of your body like an engine low on fuel. Every extra movement burns through what little energy your heart has left. Stillness conserves it. After 60, your heart doesn't recover from stress as quickly. Even turning your head too fast or trying to get up can spike your pulse and worsen the blockage. So the best thing you can do for yourself is exactly what feels counterintuitive. Stop. Breathe. Wait. One man told me he learned this lesson the hard way. He was alone at home when chest pain hit, and he decided to just grab his keys and drive. He made it 2 blocks before blacking out at a traffic light. The car rolled safely to a stop, but his doctors later said those few steps toward the car nearly cost him his life. Movement sped up his heart's demand for oxygen when it was already starving. So instead, plant yourself where you are. Keep your phone in hand if you can, stay seated upright, and focus on your breathing rhythm. In through the nose, out through the mouth, slow and steady. If you start to feel cold or sweaty, cover yourself lightly with a small blanket or towel, but don't bundle up too tightly. And whatever happens, do not try to drive yourself or tough it out. Paramedics are trained to begin treatment the moment they reach you, something no car ride can replace. While you wait, repeat this to yourself. Help is coming. I've done what I can. Because in that moment, calm becomes your greatest ally. You've made the call, taken the right steps, and given your body a fighting chance. Now all that's left is patience and trust. Up next, we'll bring everything together with a few final takeaways and simple habits that can prepare you long before an emergency ever strikes. And there you have it. 7 simple actions that could make the difference between panic and survival. None of them require special tools or medical training, just awareness, calm, and a bit of preparation. If you're over 60, this is something you can start tonight. Keep a small pack of uncoated aspirin where you can reach it. Set your phone's emergency SOS feature. Write your ICE contact. And maybe even place a little note by your bed reminding you of these steps. Because when fear hits, memory fades. The truth is, surviving a heart attack alone isn't about luck. It's about being ready before it happens. Every second matters, and what you do in those first moments can protect your heart, your brain, and your future. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced heart-related symptoms, or do you already keep an emergency plan ready at home? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I personally read everyone. We're building a community here for strong comebacks. So subscribe to Force Seniors Health, hit the bell icon, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. If this was helpful and you want to support the effort behind it, give this video a like and share it with someone you love. Join me in the next video. I've got more surprises waiting for you.